hi. I didn't see you there. I'm just kidding, I did. Because I'm a volunteer receptionist at the Boise Acupuncture Co-op, and I drink the tears of my enemies. Let's go. As a volunteer receptionist, you'll have a lot of things that you need to do. There's a lot of pressure on you to do them all correctly, especially on your first day. So we're going to go through exactly how to do those things perfectly so no one yells at you, because these ladies are some mean bitches. Now that you're in and you're seated in your chair, you're going to get ready for the day. You're going to be answering phones, you're going to be managing appointments, welcoming patients and greeting new patients, taking payments, and generally being beautiful. Let's start. If you're a morning person, the first thing you're going to do is to come over here. We're going to log in to PokePoint. It's Internet Explorer. It will come here and you just click login. And you're ready to start your day. To see appointments, click appointments. The next thing you're going to do is to check phone messages. The phone is right here. Instructions on how to use the phone can be found here on these colorful sticky notes. The next thing we'll do is get the iPad ready to take money from people, because that's what we do here. The iPad can be found here. It should have been plugged in the previous evening by the previous volunteer, and if it hasn't been, please find out who did that and yell at them. When you first come in for your shift, there are a few things to look out for. Take a look over here at the notice board. The acupuncturist will put up any changes happening for the month, like specials, anything going on. This will just keep you updated. There might also be some new information on the front desk, so that's always a good place to check to see what's going on. And over here, follow me, are patient resources that you can direct patients to, and this handy board that will give just, information. Some of your volunteer duties do include general maintenance of the reception area. It's easy to forget, sometimes I forget, but here's what you need to do. We're going to check the trash in all the trash cans, make sure that the bathrooms have toilet paper, that's important, that the towels aren't overflowing in the dirty towel bin baskety things. And if you need extra supplies, they can be found in these two cabinets. Towels, toilet paper, Ricolas, just shit. There's just shit in there as you need it. Just effing go for it. You also have to wash the effing cups.
Hi, I'm here to talk to you about our 12-hour cancellation policy. Patients can cancel online before 12 hours, but within the 12 hours of their appointment, they are not going to be able to do that. So, if they call within the 12 hours, we would like you to listen kindly and, depending on the reason, tell them that we have a 12-hour cancellation fee of $15 that they can pay at their next appointment. If they don't show up for their appointment, wait about 20 to 30 minutes, and you can call them and let them know that we missed seeing them today for their appointment that was at 3 o'clock. We want to remind them of the 12-hour cancellation fee of $15, and they can pay that at their next appointment. That's it.
Treatments at BAC are primarily given in recliner chairs. We can treat all conditions in a recliner chair, including back pain. When people schedule their first visit, we always schedule them in the chair. So if someone calls in and they think that they need the table, you can just tell them to talk to the acupuncturist about this, and we will assess whether the table is necessary. We reserve the table for patients that cannot sit in the chair. We have some patients that, because of their condition, they are unable to sit in a chair, and the table is here primarily for those people. Beyond that, As practitioners, we may decide that we get to a point or with certain conditions that we do want to try the table treatment. But remind patients that it's up to the acupuncturist's discretion and it needs to be reserved ahead of time.
Okay, so now let's talk about walk-ins. Yes, we do take walk-ins, as many as possible, when possible. So we have a few things to consider when we're taking walk-ins. We want to know if our schedule has the availability, and we want to know if our punk has the steam and the room to take in extra people. You want to make sure you have enough breaks, either coming up or right when that walk-in's coming in. When a return visitor is coming in, we just need that 10-minute slot. When a new person's coming in, we want to make sure that we're getting a 20-minute slot for that new person. And so you're going to have to sort of use your judgment, along with, if you feel like you need to talk to the punk about it, ask your punk and see how they're feeling. Ideally, at the beginning of the schedule, you can kind of say, hey, how do you feel about walk-ins today? And then the punk can let you know how that feels, or where that might be doable in the schedule. Certainly, if things change and you get cancellations and room is made, then you can walk in somebody at that time. Sometimes it might not be doable. So a person might come in and be hopeful that they can walk in, but if the punk is already booked up and maybe has 2 or 3 squeezes already, then you might have to just, remind that person that we are pretty full right now. Let me go ahead and schedule you for the next available day. We're going to take our scheduled patients as priority, and then we're going to, if anybody shows up early or late, then we're going to take them next. So you have to think about how many people are in the treatment room and how many people are going into the treatment room. And so if there are too many people in there, it gets hard for the punk to manage their time appropriately. And we don't want people waiting and getting upset that they're missing their treatment time. So let's talk about late patients. Depending on how late they are. If they are just a few minutes late, say 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes late, no big deal, really. Just kind of tell them you understand. It's not okay, but tell them you understand and let them through. We'll kind of keep note if they are consistently late. And then if they're pushing more the 20, 30 minutes late, we've probably called them by now. And that depends on the schedule. If the punk just had 5 people walk in and then that late person showed up, you're going to have to tell them that they're going to have to wait, because now they are essentially a squeeze or a walk-in and they missed their appointment time. So you'll just mention that, okay, it's going to be probably about a 5 to 10 minute wait per patient that just walked in. So if 5 people walked in, they're going to be waiting 45 minutes. And if that's possible for them to do that or leave and come back, fine, we'll get them in. If that's not possible, then technically they're responsible for the $15 no-show fee, and we're going to need to reschedule them for the next available time slot. And most people are pretty understanding of that. So just, that's how we deal with the late patients.
At Boise Acupuncture Cooperative, patient confidentiality is very important to us. Here are 5 helpful hints to help you protect patient privacy. Number 1, patients cannot come behind the desk and look at the screen. Number 2, you can't give patient information out to any other patient. Even if they know them or recommended that they come here, they just have to ask them themselves.
Who of my friends came to see you yesterday?
Gosh, I'm sorry, I can't tell you that. Are you my 3 o'clock?
Yes, I am!
Great. Which brings us to point number 3. Avoid identifying patients in the lobby. you can use their first name, but it might be better to just say, "Hi there, are you my 3 o'clock?" Number 4, don't repeat patient information out loud when you're talking to them on the phone. For example, if they give you your credit card number, you don't need to repeat that out loud. Likewise with their phone number or their address or their name. Number 5, if an insurance company or a doctor calls and requests private patient information for their clinic, you can't give it to them at that time. You need a written request signed by the patient. Those are our 5 helpful hints to help you protect patient privacy. Thank you.
As a community clinic, we at Boise Acupuncture Co-op strive to be welcoming to everyone in our community, and you as a front desk volunteer are the face of the clinic for new people who walk in. So we definitely encourage you to be warm, to be welcoming, and to make this space as safe as possible for everyone. Another way that we ensure the open nature of our clinic is by having all of our patients read and agree to a set of guidelines. I'll read them out loud. As a patient at Boise Acupuncture Co-op, I agree to be inclusive and considerate to all. This means that I acknowledge that strong fragrance and strong smells can make some people very sick, and in some cases limit their ability to receive treatment here. I will not smoke or put on perfume, cologne, and or essential oils before my treatment. I acknowledge that the visual experience of seeing a firearm can be triggering for some people. I will leave my firearms at home or conceal them. I acknowledge that anything on your person that can be construed as hateful towards another person is not allowed in this clinic. I will refrain from displays of exclusivity and hatred. Our clinic is inclusive to all. We request that you make every effort to help us in this mission. I understand that everyone is fighting a battle that I am not aware of. Illness and trauma can be invisible and can affect our outer behavior. Before judging, remember that everyone is here to heal and grow. So obviously these are things that we ask all of our patients to agree upon, but if patients haven't read it or if they're new and they don't know about it, and you notice that somebody comes in and is not aware of this and is maybe even breaking one of these agreements, it's definitely up to your discretion to alert one of us as punks to talk to the patient. We don't expect you necessarily to confront a patient about a firearm, let's say for example, but it is important that they know that this exists, and as punks we can go ahead and have that conversation with that patient. So as volunteers, you often get a little bit of the grunt of our patient population when they come in and they're feeling like they're in a lot of pain or they're grumpy, they haven't been sleeping well. And one of these policies, especially the understanding that everyone is fighting a battle that I'm not aware of, is something that can really be practiced within our volunteer community. Just having compassion and understanding for patients who are coming in, maybe battling something that we're not aware of, acknowledging that, and being considerate, patient, and mindful. A part of our mission is to hold more trainings to become even better at interacting with patients who are coming in with invisible diseases or problems. One of those is trauma-informed care, and in the coming months we'll be doing a training about trauma-informed care, and it will be available for all of our volunteers to be a part of or at least watch, because we'll record it. So we're not totally versed in it quite yet, but one example that comes to my mind about trauma-informed care is being conscious of not automatically asking somebody when they walk in, hey, how are you doing? How's your day today? Because everyone's coming in here to treat something that they're battling in their life. As opposed to doing that, you might say, hi, welcome, we're really glad you're here. Something very neutral, doesn't put them in the position of having to answer a question about how they're doing in their life, and also creates a very warm and welcoming introduction to the clinic and to their experience here at Boise Acupuncture Co-op. Okay. One last thing that we like to do often is run monthly or 2-month or seasonal specials. In the past, we've done things like if you've ever struggled with addiction, you're able to come in for a free treatment. When we run specials like this, it's really important that we not ask any more questions about this person's experience with why they want to receive that special. We trust our patients to be honest with us about wanting to receive something because they feel like it resonates with something that they've struggled with. And we trust that, and we just leave it at that. So if somebody comes in and they want to have a discount from a special, we ask that you don't ask any questions about it, that you just respect that and follow suit with whatever offer or special we're offering.
Here we are looking at Poca Point. This is today's view. To click on a different date to schedule appointments in the future or to look at what's available, you use the calendar that is on the left and you click on the date and you'll be able to see that day's appointments so you can schedule people in the future. To get back to today, you click on the today at the top. You'll notice looking at this schedule, return visits are 10-minute time slots, and the longer 20-minute time slot is for new patients. Squeezes are at the top, and then squeezes are reflected in the schedule below by the S that you'll see on the side. If you look at, there are notes on some people's appointments. You can hover over that to see that's a pro bono, so they won't have a charge. The other one here is a punch card, so you can get that ready ahead of time if you want. Gives you some information. The red flag is for table treatments, and we flag that when somebody has reserved the table. When you reserve the table, you have an hour, so you need to make sure when you're looking at the schedule, or if you are scheduling someone for a table treatment, that you don't schedule them within an hour of another person that has the table, a table flag. To check someone in, you click on the green check mark. For this patient, they were pro bono, so they will have a 0 charge, and we don't have to do anything else here for this. And you can click save, and then you will see that there's a line through the check mark, and they have changed colors. If you ever need to uncheck it, if you check someone in accidentally, you can click on it again, and then click save, and it will uncheck the check mark. To check in this new person that we have coming in next, click on the check mark, and we will be putting in their fee under treatment amount. We put the fee, the total amount there, we don't, including their new patient paperwork fee. It all goes in there when it's acupuncture. If they are getting anything else at the same time, we can put that in the other amount, and we can add the description if they get herbs or if they get merchandise. With these amounts, it's important to note you don't use a dollar sign, just put numbers in. The description obviously is words. And then in the note section, you put the type of payment. So check, cash, charge goes in there. And then you click save. Our next person has a punch card. So when we check them in, we're going to want to note the punch card. So their amount is going to be 0 because they have paid ahead of time. And in the notes, we're going to say punch card and the number that it is out of however many. So we can track that as we go. And you'll be able to look at their punch card to see how many they have. You can click on the green note to see what the note is. If you ever need to see that, go back and see that again without unchecking the check mark. To cancel an appointment, you click on the little red cancel sign and you say, yep, okay, cancel that appointment. To reserve an appointment, click on this little RES, and you're going to start typing the patient's name in. Patients will start coming up, and you select the one that you want. If it is a new person, you're going to click New Patient.
You need to have 20 minutes to click that new patient button. If you click it and you don't have 20 minutes, it will give you an error message. And if you don't wish to send them a reminder email for whatever reason, and then you click reserve. To create a new patient, we have 20 minutes here. We're going to book someone that's new. You go over to the left, create a new patient. Click on that, and you have to fill in the information here. So first name, last name, email address. We're just making this up here. You can click no email, but we do prefer to get an email when possible. Phone number, absolutely. We need some way to contact them. Birth date, not as important. We can fill that in later. So you can click no birth date. And there is you can click, and then you add. And we have an error message at the top, invalid email address. My fake email address was not accepted, so we'll try a different fake email address. And now I have forgotten to click the no birth date, so it's telling me you need to enter a birthday. So we say no birthday. Now we add. And hooray! We have added the patient. You can see the green sign at the top, and now we can reserve. Start typing in their name, and you'll see them come up. Get rid of that. See them come up, select their name, and then we click new patient. I am going to click don't send email because apparently that's a real email. And then we click reserve. And you can see there they are. If we want to update this patient's information, like they've come in and now we have their birth date and they've filled out paperwork, and so we have other information that we want to make sure that we have current information on them. You click on their name. On the left, you'll see all their information. On this top, you can add a middle name. You can update their email address and click update. If you scroll down, you can add phone information, address. This notes section is used primarily for the table. This is something that follows them all of the time. You can click flag and that will come up, and then you have to click update. We can also use this for pro bono or punch card. It will stay with them always. So not to be used for something that is for a specific appointment. Right here you can see their appointment history. If you click on the past, they don't have any because they're new. Future, you can see all of their future scheduled appointments. This can be useful for patients. If they wish to have a report of this, you can click on the appointment report. We'll go into this on the iPad as well because that's where you'll use this, but this is where the intake form is. And you click on create form and then open form for them to fill out the paperwork, intake paperwork online. Click on appointments to get back. And here we are on our day, and we're going to squeeze in an appointment. So you click on squeeze in an appointment, you select the time. Be aware that this is military time. So if it's 3 o'clock, you're going to be in 15. Select the practitioner. You can see the practitioner for the day right there if you're not aware. And then you can start typing the patient's name again. Names come up, you select that name. You can say don't send a confirmation email. Often we do that with new patient or squeezes, and then you'll see them added there at the top. Since we squeezed this person in to where there was a new person, the S does not come up. It's not really a big deal, but something to be aware of. Sometimes it doesn't come up there. Here we'll show you how to search for a patient. Up here on the Patients tab, you click on the arrow and you start typing in the patient's name. Again, the names come up, you select the name and hit enter. And this will bring up that patient's personal information page. A comment about notes. We showed the notes earlier where if you hover over it, you can read it. We record in Square, which we'll go over, patients that are pro bono or comped. This note for employees and volunteers or family of employees will tell you how to record this in Square. So either it's comp and then the reason is friends and family, or comp and employee. We also have other potential comps, and you'll have a note or a punch card that will tell you about that, such as manager specials.
There are two methods of intake paperwork for new patients: physical paperwork or on the iPad. These forms can be found in this basket and can be used especially for minors whose parents need to sign this paper copy. We also have paper intake forms in Spanish if needed. I will now show you how to use the iPad for new patients.
Here is how to do the online paperwork. You hit the home button, hit the home button again, tap Safari. This brings up PokePoint login. Click in the box, and then down below you'll see you can click to autofill and then click login. It brings you to, you can use the two-finger technique to zoom in, which is very handy. On the other iPad, it is slightly different. Home button again, Safari, and then tap in the box, and you'll see it says autofill password. Same idea, slightly different, and then you log in. And she's gonna zoom it in again there, yay. Okay, so if we come over here, here we are with our new person, Xander Meander. We click on his name. He's just walked into the clinic and we're going to get him started on his form. Then you see the area where you can say create form. Click the purple create button. And then you click on open form, which is the words underlined there. Then you can hand it to the patient at this point. They will click start and go through the form until they get to the end. We make sure that we get all the way to the end and it says form submitted when they hand it back to you. And then we click on the little X to close the tab when we're done, and make sure that you navigate back on the PokePoint page to appointments.
Howdy, welcome to the Boise Acupuncture Co-op. How can I help you?
I think I have an appointment. I've never been here before.
Awesome. What was your name?
Mrs. White.
Mrs. White. I have an appointment for Mrs. White. That works out perfectly. Welcome to our clinic. I'm Keith. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Did you get an opportunity to do your new patient paperwork?
No.
You did not?
No.
Well, let me tell you what. It's not that big of a deal. It's not all that overwhelming. It's kind of like 52 pages front and back, like writing a novella or getting a mortgage. It's really pretty easy stuff. So I'll let you get that done real quick.
Here it is.
Thank you. That's phenomenal. So do you know how our payment structure works here at the clinic?
Not really.
Well, we are on a floating or a sliding scale. So it's $15 to $40. However much you can afford to pay. You don't verify anything with us. We know you'll afford to pay what you can afford to pay. Now, of course, the first time you come, there's a $10 new patient paperwork fee. So today would be $25 to $50 or more, depending on how much you'd like to pay. We take the lowest forms of payment, except no firstborns.
Can I do 25? Is that okay?
If you would like to do 25, that's absolutely perfect. In fact, that's exactly what you're probably supposed to pay today. All Right, and if I could get you to just autograph that real quick for me. If you ever show up and you have clothes on that don't quite fit, like pants too tight, shirt too tight, you have roller skirts, shorts, big shirts, button up, bar up when you're done, toss in dirty clothes, we'll take care of it for you. One of the most important things we need to keep an eye on here is that whiteboard. That is our most important whiteboard because that's where our announcements come of things that may or may not be done. So it changes the schedule, specials that we're doing. Like last month we did a special where people fighting addiction got a free treatment. As I mentioned, we do have some herbs here, but we have a full herbal pharmacy in the back, so feel free to talk to your punk about the herbs. First we have hot tea and cold water. Feel free to help yourself before, during, or after at any time. I don't know how you do it during, but some people take punk back, so it must be like. Are you familiar with POCA?
No.
So POCA is the People's Organization of Community Acupuncture, which we belong to. So several thousand years ago when acupuncture actually started, it was all community acupuncture. Then Western medicine and its infinite wisdom got involved and said, you got a white coat to put you in a room by yourself and stick you with $100 needles. No, we don't play like that. So these are all other POCA clinics that our clinic's associated with. So if you're going somewhere, don't want to miss a treatment, want to check one out, these are all great ones to check out. I go down and see my daughter and grandson in San Diego. Go to beach community right on the beach while I'm there. So totally freaking awesome.
Cool.
2 bathrooms. Feel free to use either one at any time. Coat rack to hang your stuff on like a hat. Not that you have to, because they're way more handy in the winter than the summer, but it's there all year long. When you come into the clinic or into the room over here, you're going to notice 12 chairs like this. Around the outside, you're going to pick one that looks like this, not like this. Even though acupuncture needles are thinner than a human hair or a bone, you probably can't stick yourself accidentally, but no sense taking a chance.
Yeah.
The other thing maybe most important, silence your cell phone. It's really hard to do once you're full of needles, it's ringing, and people are staring. So, when you go inside the room here, just inside the door on the right-hand side, you're going to notice a little table. And on the table, we have baskets to put your crap in, cough drops, earplugs, blankets, pillows, any of that stuff you want, take it and use it. If you don't, don't.
Great.
What do you think? You ready?
I'm ready.
It'd be awesome, right?
Awesome.
Come on.
We'll be running all of our transactions through Square. So let's start Square on the iPad. There it is. This is the point of sale screen. And we have 2 different readers that we use. This one is the chip reader Bluetooth. And this one has a swipe on it and a chip and plugs in if we're having trouble with the Bluetooth. You can use either one of those. So this point of sale sheet is, you get here by tapping on this if you're not on it. And this is where you're entering the amount. These other 2 icons are for itemized purchases, which we itemize when we do herbs or merchandise or any other miscellaneous transactions, which are gift certificates, punch cards, anything that's discount. You can get to those through here or through here. There are slight differences to those, and it really doesn't matter which one you use. I'll show you both of those. But let's start here. If we're just doing a regular old acupuncture, non-itemized purchase. So there are 3 different methods of payment. They can do a card, they can do cash, and they can do check. So let's do a card first. Say they come in and we're doing $15. You can see how this turns to 15. Then we'll come over to our reader. Now you see card inserted, and you just tap this to charge it. You can see under current sale there is 1 item. You can tap on this to see what this is. And if you tap on the arrow, you can clear items if you want. So if you have something that you've done and you want to clear it out and start over, that's how you manage in there. So you can just hit charge, and it will tell you to remove like that, and then you ask them to sign And then you can get a receipt if they want, or no thanks. Come up to new sale. Brings you back to the point of sale. So if we're doing a cash transaction for acupuncture, it is very similar. So we're going to do 15. And again, you see that's there, and you see the button is blue, charging $15. You click on the charge, and this will come up. So you see the cash line here. I don't know why it has those, probably for someone that accepts tips, but we don't. So it's $15 we want. So we tap on the 15, and we're completed the transaction. No thanks. New sale. If they have a check, let's see, we have lots of $15 charges here tonight. Charge. Okay, and instead of hitting the cash, we're going to hit more. And we're going to hit check. And just input the check number. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 check number, record payment. Again, they are always asking for the receipt. Okay, so that is how we do acupuncture for a cash, check, and charge. If you would like to, if someone is coming in and they're buying herbs. So let's start with this screen. So these are itemized, so we need to find the herb that they are ordering. They are getting Tianma, Gotong Yin, so we have the bottle with us so we can see the spelling, and instead of scrolling in the icon that's in the center, you can start typing, and the formula will come up. Tianma, Gotong Yin is right there. Now we have our items up here, and we can hit charge. If they have a card, you would want to insert the card. If they're going to do cash, we're just going to tap and then select the cash amount. Let's say that they're doing cash, so we'll tap that, and then we'll just click on the 20. If they're doing check, we can do more and check, and then input the check number. We're going to, okay, we're just going to back out of this one. And I'm going to clear these items. There. So that, back, there, and then back to get back to this screen. Merchandise, if they are buying a t-shirt or something, is the same thing, but you're selecting t-shirt, and then again, if it's cash, we're just going to tap on that and then click the cash amount. If it's check, we'll tap on that, click more, click check, and then enter the number. Bumper stickers, obviously the same. Miscellaneous. So here we have gift certificates. The amounts are variable, so I'm going to clear up this current sale here, actually. There. We have membership, which they can purchase for a very variable rate also. Oops, oops, oops. We have the no-show fee, so if they come in and they are paying for an appointment that they missed, you can put that one on there. And then you can go back to the point of sale. That charge is still there, and say they're paying another $15 for their visit for today. Now you've got 30. You can see you've got your 2 sale items, and you process that charge by either inserting the card or processing the cash or the check. I'm going to clear these out, and we'll go back to no-show fee, and then punch card. Same thing. To record a free treatment, These are our comped treatments, and you'll see their note in Poca Point. It will say comp and give the reason for this. We do record those in Square as well. So how to do that? You enter in an amount for the treatment that we're going to comp. Click on current sale. Click on the custom and come down here to comp item. Then you select the reason. So in Poca Point, under the notes section that appears next to their name, you'll see that comp and friends and family, or comp and employee discount. Ones that you might not see but will still come up are manager specials. So if we have a special running, this would be the one you select for that. Occasionally we'll do customer complaint. That'll probably pop up somewhere in their Poca Point note as well. So you select the reason, comp. Now you see you have the amount, the treatment, and then the discount. So the charge is 0. Click charge. Go down to that. Just click on the cash 0 and no receipt. That would be silly. Okay, and there you are.
We're glad to have you as part of our volunteer team here at the Boise Acupuncture Co-op. It is an amazing thing we get to do to help these ladies do what they do to help so many people feel better and feel the same relief we do in the community. The important part is, as a volunteer, that we're the face of the clinic when the client comes through the door. We're the first person they interact with. We're the first feeling they get of the clinic. It's our opportunity to show them what we love about the clinic and to make them feel at ease. Generally, when they come to us, as you know, they're in pain, they're miserable, something's been going on for a long time, they may have even been told that it's all in their head, that there's nothing that can be done for them, and it's our opportunity to show them that there is hope, and that we're here to help, that our punks are here to help, and that there is the opportunity to feel better than they've felt in a very long time, maybe ever. And so, first thing we do is reach out and be their friend. Let them know you're here for them. Welcome them to our community. Welcome them to our co-op. Introduce yourself. Tell them what it means to you. Make sure they feel comfortable answering any questions they might have. And make sure they know that they're part of the family now too. And we're happy to have them here.
Volunteers need a lot of support because we're very special and we deserve it. So here are some resources to help all of our volunteers. Here's a list of contact information for all of the volunteers, as well as the acupuncturists. There's also the calendar showing the schedule, which can be found online on Google Drive. If you need a sub for your shift, please announce it publicly on our Facebook Messenger, and then we can sort out who can cover what shift. We also have this volunteer binder where you can find other information. If you feel like you need some extra help and you would like someone to come in and hang out with you on your shift and help you as needed, please contact some of the old-timey volunteers because we're always happy to help. And if there are any other questions, please go to Linda, who is the volunteer liaison, or Stacy, who is the volunteer coordinator.